All right, what do we have in the medicine bag today? We have some horsetail. We have marshmallow root. We have shatavari root. We have goldenrod. We have dandelion leaf and dandelion root. Does anybody know what all this good fun stuff is going to be? It's going to be to help with a impending kidney and UTI. Shatavari is an exceptional adaptogen, and I view her as like nature's antibiotic, nature's healer. So she can be an exceptional ally. You don't really need much. I'm a very intuitive healer. This is about, I measure things in handfuls. It's the strangest thing ever, right? You're gonna need about 2 handfuls of shatavari if you have a medium-sized hand like mine right there in the middle. All right. You're gonna need a little bit of marshmallow root, 1 heaping handful of marshmallow root in there. All right, she's a little fluffier. You're gonna need a good bit of horsetail. In this decoction, we're going to make about 2 heaping handfuls of that. She's so itchy. Get her river beds in a lot of rocky disturbed areas. She's incredible as a diuretic to flush things out. Here's the goldenrod. We're also going to use a significant amount of goldenrod as well. 3 handfuls heaping. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, messy. Feeling a little messy today. All right. I'm not so good at making my own videos of things, so you just have to, I should have probably gotten a tripod so I could show you more. Dandelion, right there. 1 heaping handful of the leaf and 1 heaping handful of the root. This is a tried and true plant medicine recipe that I've used for a while now. I just recently decided, actually I'm gonna need a little bit more. That was a regular handful. I'll do a handful and a half. All right, okay. And then we're gonna go over here and grab some water. This is about 1.7 liters of water into probably a good medium-sized pot. You're gonna put her on high, stir around just a little bit, and you're going to let this come to a boil and then simmer her with the lid off for about 20 minutes. And then you're gonna add probably another 1/4 liter of water and simmer all the way down to where it's pretty thick again. I'm sorry, pretty thin, just a little bit of water. Thick with the herbs, but thin. The shatavari spreads out. So what you'll notice about the shatavari is that she actually looks like this when you get her, but she spreads out into a rod-like root, and it gets very, very thick when water adds and kind of golden and yummy, buttery. This concoction tastes very good together because of all the roots in it. And you're gonna take this 3 times a day, 8 ounces per serving for about, there's some powerful things in here. So I'm gonna say about 5 to 7 days on, then give yourself and your body a break. And if you're still having UTI or kidney infection symptoms, she's also good for interstitial cystitis, then you're gonna do it, you know, about, you're gonna take a break and then do it another 5 to 7 days. Again, 3 times a day, 8 ounces per serving in a, you're gonna drink her like a tea, all right? You're gonna strain all this out. I just use cheesecloths to strain out because, as you can see, that's some pretty dense plant material in there. There are a lot of benefits here, so I hope you like this recipe today. I don't typically blend medicines, but in this case, when you have like a really deep infection, if it goes further after your second round, 3 to 5 days, or 5 to 7, depending upon what your body can handle, 8 ounces, 3 times a day. All right, I like to do 5 to 7 days, and then I'll take a 5 to 7 day break, and then I'll go back to 5 to 7 days for my second course, you know, of 8 ounces, 3 times a day. And then if it still isn't going, then I do a poke root tincture. Poke root needs to be used at caution because she's nature's strongest antibiotic, so there's not any poke root in here. I don't drink poke root in tea. I drink her only in infusions, and she's a very, very powerful medicine. You can't just go get her off the shelf and use her if you don't know what you're doing. Speaking of not knowing what I'm doing, since I'm not a medical doctor, I can't diagnose you, treat you. These remedies are not cures and are not meant to be used in replacement for whatever you're doing with your doctor in your medical care. Because I'm not a doctor, I have no idea what goes with what, and you will need to ask your doctor. Look at all that yumminess. Oh my heavens. Isn't it just great? You can see some of the shatavari root and some of the goldenrod starting to fluff up. And the more we boil her for the next 20 minutes, and then we're gonna add about 1/4 liter of water. You know, back from here, I just used one of these things. So I will go back and add, you know, the rest of that 1/4 liter and let her boil down again. And then I will drink this concoction, all right? So always ask your doctor if you're pregnant, if you're nursing, if you have any questions, particularly for goldenrod, if you are pregnant or nursing, or if you're thinking about giving this to a child, don't do it, you know, because goldenrod has some particular sensitivities that aren't very medically researched. So with babies in particular, babies and young children, say under 12, you want to, you know, not use goldenrod in this particular decoction. So this is called a plant medicine decoction. And again, it's just when you use the right amount of herbs, and once the herbs speak to you and you know what works well for your body, how to find your appropriate dosage, you can go ahead and boil this down. You can boil this for, here she's going to a nice rolling boil now. You can boil this down, and I'm just turning that, you know, to halfway over here for a bit. Hopefully she won't boil over. Just kind of get her at a good simmer for about 20 minutes. And do it again. Add 1/2 liter, do it again, strain her out, drink it up. Oh, look at that. Look at that shatavari getting bigger, kind of looking like walnuts or something. Look at the end of the shatavari. You could tell some of these more watery type of root plant medicines because their stems are shaped like squares. It's incredible, except the goldenrod isn't, but the shatavari is. The horsetail does have that square type of shape as well. So you can see these roots kind of fluffing up and looking nice and buttery. Oh my gosh, it smells so great. I wish you were in my kitchen right now. I would teach you so much. But instead, you can come to my Patreon channel, which is patreon.com/Forest Medicine Woman. Forest is actually my grandmother's name. And yeah, I have a lot of Irish on that side of the family, and I feel like I sometimes just want to honor some of those traditions by using our names, right? So this is one of my favorite UTI kidney infection recipes. Right when you feel it coming on, if it's already like really, really bad, this will take longer to work, or you can add, again, 1 drop a day of poke root per tincture. If you have someone that you trust that can teach you how to make a poke root tincture, make sure you get a really good ethical source that you really trust, that these herbs have been harvested well. And I tend to forage my own herbs, but when I don't during the winter, say if I haven't stocked up enough, like this winter is a good example, I will go to some trusted sources like Mabel's Apothecary on Facebook, or Willow Creek Herbs and Teas. That's another apothecary in Colorado. I love them. They're in Grand Junction, Colorado. And I've met them in person. They see me in person like once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks, particularly during the winter. So yeah, well, I should turn that back up because it's not simmering as much as I want it to. And you can also do some things like add about, I'd say about a third of a handful of nettle. If you really want to up the pace here with this particular decoction, I didn't do it because this one's for my wife and she's sensitive to nettle, so I didn't add it, but that would add up the, how can I say this politely, the peeing component of your medicine. You'd be rushing off to the loo quite a bit. So that's really, really, if you don't want that to happen, don't put nettle in it. The goldenrod will do about half of what the nettle does with all the peeing, not half as much peeing with nettle. But you know, it's a great detox, but sometimes you're just like not looking for that, right? So again, these are the herbs that are in this one. Look at that, I just spilled her everywhere. I'll have to get that later, but we have some dandelion roots that I have to clean up because I've made a mess in this video. I've been so messy. I'm gonna get a tripod next time. We have dandelion leaf as well. I tend to use whole plant parts or constituents. So if I say we'll use, like this leaf has a little bit of flowers in it, and then I'll also use it with the root. So for the marshmallow, I tend to use just the root because the rest can hold too many toxins. Shatavari needs to be foraged very ethically and very sustainably. She comes from various places, not in my country, so I don't use her very often. She's very powerful adaptogen, but I just want to use her a little bit more sparingly, just for the ethics of things, you know? Goldenrod is incredible. You can use her. She comes by the droves. You can find her, you can forage her from spring to summer to fall, particularly in the summer and early fall. Horsetail, she's everywhere. So these are all the powerful ingredients to this one. And again, you can find more of my deeper plant work. Oh, look, I steamed you up there. Sorry. You can find more of my deeper plant medicine work and think about learning how to communicate with plants from the intuitive perspective, how to find the right dosing for your body, how to discern what the spiritual medicine is when you're going through something physically or mentally. That's a lot of the things that I teach over on my Patreon channel. Again, that's Forest Medicine Woman. So if you go to patreon.com/Forest Medicine Woman, you can find me there. It's starting exactly the first week of February, so please don't sign up until then because I don't have much there for you, but it will be very, very soon. I'll see you later. Bye.